Independent counsel and Fox News contributor Ken Starr. Ken, I want to start with the news that we just heard, which is that hearing for July 15th is now gone. It doesn't mean that the whole thing is over, though. What do you think happens next?
It's the best thing that the judge can do. Cancel a hearing that should never have been scheduled or contemplated. So, yes, it's not the termination of the case. That is yet to be done, but this is a huge step forward. That July 15th hearing would have been a circus. So the Judge Sullivan, who is an honorable man who has vast experience as a federal judge, appears to be obeying exactly what the D.C. Circuit, the Court of Appeals, has said, which is this action by the judge has to stop.
Yeah, I think that the next place that this goes, is to probably the Durham report. And that's what a lot of this article in the New York Post today that we were talking about in these handwritten notes really gets to, what was the impetus behind this investigation in the first place, and what were they really after? I mean, one question I've always had is if you have a group of people standing around and talking about the fact that they think the president is about to have a national security advisor who may or may not be a Russian spy, if that's really what they were thinking, isn't the most logical thing to do to call that president, call that person's boss, and say, you're about to hire a Russian spy or a Russian agent or somebody who is compromised? Can we talk to you about that and show you the evidence so that you don't bring this person into the White House? If they really believed that, wouldn't that have been what this whole group did?
Yes, Melissa, that is precisely what they should have done as a matter of honor and, frankly, as a matter of patriotism. President Trump, then the president-elect, is about to take office. If there is a problem that those in power know about or suspect or fear, they should promptly bring it to the president-elect's attention. The failure to do so, I believe, was a dereliction of duty. And what we know is that there was so little predicate for the concern to begin with. We know more now about the provenance of the FBI investigation, the Russia probe to begin with. But notice what, according to these notes from Peter Strzok, the director of the FBI, Jim Comey, says that the conversations that the incoming national security advisor had with Ambassador Kislyak from Russia were legit. Of course they were legit. They were entirely proper. We know that now that we have the transcripts and so forth. So the entire idea of investigating the national security advisor and the campaign more generally was really extraordinarily ill-founded. It shows remarkably poor judgment on the part of the President of the United States, President Obama.
So where it goes from there on the Democrat side is that they say on the opposite side that, okay, so maybe the conversations were okay, and if that's the case, why did Flynn lie about that he's a liar and he shouldn't have been nearby? And that kind of opens the door to, well, why is Joe Biden doing so much lying about this whole situation? If that's what we're concerned about is people who are willing to lie, we played the soundbite in the beginning where he says, I know nothing about those moves to investigate Michael Flynn. We know that was a lie. And in fact, George Stephanopoulos calls him on that, and he says, oh, I thought you were asking me if I knew anything about Flynn being prosecuted. He repeated the question to George Stephanopoulos, and then he said he thought it was a different question, even though he reported it. Now we're reading in Strzok's notes, if you believe them, that he actually is the one that suggested the Logan Act.
Yes.
Do you think that Joe Biden has been lying to us over and over again?
It would appear so. I don't want to make accusations, but the notes, I think, that Peter Strzok took, if they are accurate, are very damning to the vice president, to Joe Biden. And why? Because he's participating in the conversation. It's not that he's over taking notes on something else or handling a phone call or whatever. He is participating in the conversation. And according to the notes with quotations around the Logan Act, he is mouthing the words Logan Act. That means he is really zoning in and not zoning out. He knows exactly what this is all about. And he appears to be suggesting that the incoming national security advisor should be investigated under a statute that now I hope the American people know does not fit. No prosecution ever brought 100 in the history of the Justice Department going back to 1870. So that was outrageous. Was he just talking off the top of his head? No, he wasn't. He was also referring, according to these notes, to his many years on the Intelligence Committee, on the Senate Intelligence Committee. So the vice president and the likely nominee has a lot to answer for, and he has not answered it yet.
No, we will see. Ken Starr, thank you for your help today. We appreciate it.